So we are about continuing our exploration of hip mobility and strength. We've got some different ideas. We're going to have 2 blocks today, and let us start on. Let's start supine, and so we're going to kind of explore the range of motion we're capable of in different positions. So we'll start on our back. And we're going to just kind of come into our breath to come into our interior space. So you can have your knees bent, or you can have your legs long, whichever you prefer to do for starters. And just kind of settle your body down. Sometimes I like to lift my hips and lengthen my tailbone underneath me and lift my ribs and flatten my shoulder blades underneath me and really broaden my collarbone and drop my shoulders back. So I feel really stable. The box, which is your shoulders and your hips, are stable on the ground. The natural curves of your spine are present, where your neck and your lumbar spine curve away from the floor. The rest of your frame is on the floor. Just come to your breath here, nice and easy. See how you feel today. So let's start nice and easy with like a little, I'm going to turn so this will be clearer. Let's start with just kind of take your feet off the floor and put your hands on your knees, and wherever this is for you, closer to your body or further away, wherever is comfortable for you is fine. And we're going to take our hip through some motions, right? So if I come towards me, this is flexion, hip flexion, which you might feel in the front of the hip. And then if I push my knees out, this is external rotation, which my glutes and piriformis are doing. And then I could sort of come back, and this is flexion like, and then if I kind of hug in a little bit, this is internal rotation. And so just a couple of circles around like this. And we run out of room because we're going to bang knees, but we also, with internal rotation, we don't have a lot of range of motion there. So one more time in this direction, and then just go the other way. So this is kind of a little exploration, both legs at the same time. Great. And then tap your knee down. So I do want to, because we couldn't feature internal rotation that much this time, what I'd like to do now is just lift the right foot off the ground and go external. So take the knee out. So feel what you feel where you feel that activated. And then come back in and then go internal, and notice how, and then feel where you feel the internal. Notice how we have less internal rotation than external rotation. That's true for everybody. Everybody has just a different amount, but so up again, left foot. So we'll go external and then take it in, just feeling what you feel where you feel it. And what's interesting is I said that your glutes and your piriformis are what are doing the external rotation. And in point of fact, a whole bunch of muscles do the internal rotation. That there's these smaller muscles called the go-go cues, which are deep inside your pelvis. And those contribute to internal rotation, as do the bigger muscles. But nobody has the sole job of doing internal rotation. All right, so let's have now let's keep our knees bent if they weren't already. And I'm landing my feet are pretty much under my knees, so they're in a good close position for some bridge work. And so lift up your toes, put them down, lift up your heels, put them down, just alternate that a couple of times. And then put your foot down and really feel the 4 points of the front of your foot and the 4 points, 2 points in the front of your foot and 2 points in your heel. Really connect your feet down. And we're going to use the energy of really push your foot down, and that's going to lift your glutes. And then your glute muscles are going to help to lift you, as are your hamstrings and your quadriceps and your core, to come up into bridge. So you've got a line from your knees to your shoulder when you're up in bridge. and then come back down. Let's add a breath idea here. So let's inhale on the ground. Let's push and exhale up. And inhale to float back down. And exhale, push feet up. Inhale down. A couple more times, just like that. Just really feeling the energy starting with your feet and then coursing through your body to take you all the way up. One more time, we'll go up. We'll come down. Fantastic. So, let us now lengthen both legs and just relax for a moment. Feel that your tailbone's long underneath you, right? As opposed to any kind of arching of the back there, right? So you're long underneath you, so you can feel a lift in the core in the front. And we're going to just do some active leg work that's going to involve the hip flexors to lift me up and to lower me down, right? So the muscles, the psoas muscle that is right here. So let us point our toes and float the right leg up wherever it is for you. I'm coming to perpendicular. I'm not coming into a hamstring stretch. I'm coming to perpendicular. If I've got a bend, that's okay. So somewhere here, and then flex at the top, and then your heel is going to lower you down, right? And then point and lift the left. Again, come to where it comes and flex and then lower it down. So just sort of feel what's happening as you do this. Again, because we're moving the whole leg, there's a lot of muscles involved in the hip structure and in the leg structure. But principally it's the hip flexor that is doing this flexion of bringing the leg up. So one more time on the right. And one more time on the left. Beautiful. So you go ahead and hug your knees in, rock your sacrum. And let us come onto our side. It's just rolling over onto your side. And you can have your head in your hand like that, or you may want to lay your head down, whatever you prefer. And stretching both legs out. Let's take the bottom leg at a 90-degree angle underneath me, and the top leg is here. And what we're going to do is we want to work this outer part of my hips, which is the glute med, the side of my hip, really key for walking. So what I want to do is I'm going to float this leg up until I really feel this muscle fire. So I could go further through and beyond that point, but I want to really just lift it up to where I really feel this muscle fire. So for me, it's about here. So judge it for yourself and then lower it down. And so come up and just feel that engage and lower it down. So we're trying to awaken this awareness of this muscle here. And I will mention, because you might feel it with this activation, in your lower back, there's a muscle called quadratus lumborum, and it is the partner to glute med for managing things like walking and this kind of side activity. A couple more here. All right. Now, lie back down. I have to change something on the computer. Lie back down have a little mini savasana before we change sides. So just a mini savasana, and then we will change sides. So once again, you come on your side, lengthen your legs, and then take that bottom leg into a 90-degree angle. Let the top leg come all the way down, and then paying attention to this glute med, I'm going to lift up to where I really feel it fire, and I'm going to lower it down. So waking that muscle up. And one side could be different than the other side. You could come up to the exact same point, or maybe it's slightly different, one side versus the other side. So keep going. Couple more. All right, and again, let's take that little mini Savasana where I just lie down, just notice what I notice. Beautiful. So let's come around, and in any way you'd like to come around for some cat and some cow. So I've got my knees underneath my hips and my hands underneath my shoulders. I can take fists if I have trouble with my wrists. Otherwise, I tend to spread my hand so that my whole hand is holding me up, not just my wrist. And I want to do the same thing I did lying supine, which is lengthen that tailbone, right? So this would be like coming into a little back bend, a little anterior tilt, right? And then this extreme would be a posterior tilt. And I'm going to do those motions inside of cat and cow, but right now I want to find that most neutral place for my starting point. And I've got my toes untucked here. And let's go ahead and inhale so that my belly's going to fill, my pelvis is going to tip up. My shoulders are going to draw back and my head is going to come up. So here's the top of cow. And then exhale, scooping everything. My pelvis drops, my head drops, and my shoulders come forward a little bit as my thoracic spine curls up. And then go ahead and inhale back into your cow. So you're going to go at your pace with your breath. And just because we're going to talk hips today, just have a real focus on this motion, of the pelvis, right? So you rock into this anterior tilt, and then you draw yourself through neutral into this posterior tilt, right? So those are the two tilts that our pelvis does in life for different reasons. And you may know this about yourself. Some people are in somewhat of an anterior tilt in standing and walking, and some people are in somewhat of a pelvic tilt standing or walking. And it's always useful to try to find neutral, but we all have our different habits and biases. Couple more. Just feeling that nice, rich flow of motion. Beautiful. So now relax out of it. And we're going to do some bird dogging. We're going to do some creative bird dogging today. But let's start with a full regular bird dog, which means I'm going to lift my left arm and my right leg, and then the opposite. So I'm going to inhale, reaching left arm, right leg. So everything's in line with my body, and I'm reaching, and my torso is super still. And then I'm going to exhale to come in. I'm going to inhale second side and exhale in. So the great advantage of bird dog is that it's very good strengthener of the lower back part of the core and the whole core, but particularly the back part of the core really gets strong in bird dog if you're super still and drawn in the core while you're doing it. Including the QL that I talked about. And you might even notice with the work that we did, how glute med contributes to bird dog, right? The stability in bird dog. Good. That's actually going to be related to my next theme. So now what I want to do next is a little exploration in bird dog. So we're going to keep both hands on the ground and just use our leg, because I want to play with opening the hip up, right? So right now, my hip is aimed down, and I want to play with opening it up. So watch me for one. I'm going to inhale my right leg out, and then I'm going to exhale and just open it up, and then turn it back down. So that's the action. So I want to take the leg out. I want to open the hip to the side, turn it again, and come in. We're going to build on this. So out, turn it back, come in, So I just want to be in charge of where am I aiming my hip? We'll be exploring this all practice. And then, all right, good. So let's add a challenge, which is to come up into a side plank. So I'm going to open my shoulder and my hip. Okay, so again, so starting with both hands on the ground, I'm going to take my right leg out. And then as I open it, I want to pivot my underleg. And then here I've come up into a supported side plank. Good, 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 right? And then take it right on back. And go second side. Take the leg up first. And then pivot and open. And then come on back. So a couple more each side. So the right leg comes out, and then I pivot and open. And I come back. Left leg out, pivot and open. And back last time, right leg goes out, and I pivot and open. And I come back. Left leg goes out, and I pivot, open. And then I come back. All right, great. Take a break in child's pose, and we're going to just explore a little bit more. Beautiful. So inhale and come back up. So let us, so follow with me. I'll talk it through slowly. So let's inhale, neutral. Exhale, neutral. Let's inhale, lift the right leg up. Let's exhale and open up here. Great. Now, next, put your right leg down on the floor and inhale up and exhale over into this kneeling reverse warrior. Right? Okay, good. And then inhale up into this kneeling warrior two. Great. And then come back, put hands down and turn and come in. And we'll go the second side. So I'm going to inhale my leg up. Exhale, open up. Inhale, put my foot down. Exhale, take me up into a kneeling reverse warrior. And then inhale into a kneeling warrior two. And exhale to take me back. So we'll go one more time. So I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale to pivot and open. I'm going to inhale, put my foot down. I'm going to exhale, reverse my warrior, kneeling. I'm going to inhale, warrior two, kneeling. Exhale, I'm going to take myself back down and around. Beautiful. Let's inhale, neutral. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, left leg out. Exhale, pivot. Inhale, put my foot down. Exhale, reverse my warrior, kneeling. And inhale, warrior two, kneeling. Exhale, take myself back down. Good. Another child's pose. Gorgeous. Let's inhale back up, and we're going to start to think about downward facing dog. So I'm going to tuck my toes, right? Because I want to take my knees and hips up into down dog. Feel strong in my arms. And let's go ahead and inhale. So my knees come up and then my hips go up and take me up into my dog. And once I'm there, I can go ahead and paddle. Just see, how does my dog feel today? And what do I feel in the whole hip structure as I lift the hip up and away and pedal? Am I still aware of glute med, glute max, piriformis? The go-go cues are a little quieter, but they're working. And then when you're happy, you can finish pedaling and just really lift your hips up and away and lengthen your spine from your fingertips. And inhale here and open your mouth and exhale. And inhale. and exhale. All right, so we're gonna do, it's a little bit challenging. I'm gonna put my tights. We're gonna do some hip circles in down dog. So we're gonna end up like a tripod idea. So test it a little bit, lift your right foot and just test your tripod that you can feel secure on both hands and your left foot. Great, so what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna pull the knee forward. So I'm taking my leg into flexion. I'm gonna externally rotate it. I'm gonna take it back behind me, which is extension, which we couldn't explore when we were supine. And then I'm gonna swing in front and take it internal. And then keep going. I'm gonna make 3 circles in this direction. And then I wanna go the other way. So I'm gonna go internal, extension, external, flexion, internal, extension, external, flexion, last time internal, extension, external, flexion, and then put this foot down and just kind of wiggly, wobbly, and inhale and exhale. All right. Inhale the left leg up. So you'll breathe naturally. So flexion, external, extension, internal, flexion, external, extension, internal. Last time in this direction, ending internal. Now go extension, external, flexion, internal, extension, external, flexion. Last time in this direction. Great, put that foot down and inhale. Open your mouth and exhale. Great. And inhale. Exhale. All right, beautiful. Let us inhale forward to a plank. So just feel how you've got to kind of lift those hips in plank, right? Inhale here. And then we're going to lower ourselves to the ground. So you may put down your knees and then your chest. You can put down your knees and do a half chaturanga. You do a full chaturanga. Whatever means you like to use to lower yourself to the ground. Let's lower ourselves to the ground. And untuck our toes. Our hands are underneath our shoulders. Let's inhale up into cobra, as high or low as you want to be here. You can be a little bit lower, hugging the elbows in. Exhale down. So inhale, just feeling this nice back bending cobra. And exhale to lower down. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, great. Now make a little pillow for your forehead. So you can relax for a moment. We're going to do some leg work here. So drawing your legs together. So your legs are pretty much together right behind you. And then what we're going to do is, I want you to inhale, lift both legs up in the air. Exhale, separate them. Inhale, put them down on the ground, and exhale, pull them together. And then we're going to go the other way. So inhale, separate them. Exhale, lift them in the air. Inhale, come together and drop down. So we're making these leg circles. So go again. Good, keep going. So these leg circles, so just sort of feel the action in your hip. Notice what muscles feel activated as you go through this range of motion. And one more time in each direction. Beautiful. And you can once again slide your body back into a child's pose. Take your arms back behind you, roll your shoulders back, lift your arms away from your body and breathe here. Beautiful. Inhale. Let's sit up and let's grab our blocks. And we'll do some fun challenges here. So you just put the blocks in front of you and let's start out with our legs on either side of the block. And you can do it at this level, which would be the easiest. This would be the next challenge, and this would be the most challenge. So you can decide the challenge that you want, because what I want to do is left leg, right leg, is I want to sit up as tall as I can, And I'm going to lift my left leg up and put it inside, and lift my right leg up and put it inside. And I'm deciding already that I want a little more challenge. And then I'm going to go back out and back out. So I'm trying to sit up nice and tall, right? It's, show it to you this way. It is, I might add another challenge. So I'm trying to sit up tall as I lift this leg up, but see, even there's like a little give, right? Like I got to go back a little bit, but I'm trying to sit up as tall as I can. That's my ambition, right? So, oop, and I knocked one over. So keep going, keep seeing what you can do. So feel what's going on in the core, feel what's going on in the hips, right? Because everything's working. It's working. All right, good. Now I am going to lower because I know I need to lower. So the hardest thing to do is to try to do both at the same time. And you might very well need hands on the ground if you didn't have hands on the ground already. And I find this is hard. It's hard for me to do this without leaning back, but I'm trying to not lean back. So, and I'm going to see, can I lift up both? This is hard. This is hard. So see what you got. So core is really engaged, chest is really elevated, and just stay up. Just see what you got. See what you got. Really feeling my quadriceps doing this. I think I'm feeling my quadriceps the most. Try to wake up more muscles. Try it one more time. Oh, so good. All right, that's enough of that. Let's put the blocks to the side. We're gonna need them at the front of mat when we start to come up to some standing work. But let's relax by doing some shin boxing. So my feet are wider than my shoulders, right knees, and I'm going to just drop everything one way and then drop everything the other way. And again, you might need your hands to support you to sit up nice and tall while you do this, or you might be okay hands free. Whatever it is for you is fine. And we're just going to shin box. Trying to kind of release some of the tension that we created with the lifting work. Gorgeous. So let us come back over here and now depending on you, there's a few things you could do here. So what I want to do is come up into a forward fold. So I'm going to show you a couple of variations. The easiest way to do it would be to come up on one knee, put one foot down, and then put the other foot, and I'm in a forward fold, right? More challenging, so I'm just going to offer it if I was here, is I can lift myself up into this kind of low squat position and walk myself around, and then lift myself up into a forward fold. So you're going to get there however is necessary for you to get there. And just super relax here in your forward fold. Just breathe naturally and just super relax here. And then let's inhale together and exhale together. And then let's inhale to a half lift. And so my knees are bent. And then let's exhale and straighten my legs. Little hamstring stretch here. Inhale and bend. A couple more times here. Let's exhale and straighten. Inhale and bend. Exhale and straighten. And inhale and bend. And then we can inhale all the way up. And then exhale, hands in front of my heart. And I will push this back so I am fully visible. All right, there we go. All right. So we're standing. Actually, let's stand facing. So we've been exploring all these directions that my hips will go, right? So let's do this standing. So I'm going to stand up nice and tall. So I want to really engage the core, really lift my chest. My shoulders are relaxed, right? So I'm so nice and tall. And kind of lift your heels, lift your toes, lift your heels, lift your toes, and then really establish the 4 points in each foot. So you're super controlled underneath. Great. So let's just do flexion on each side. So all I'm going to do is lift a knee up, put the foot down, lift a knee up, put the foot down, right? So this is flexion. And notice how I can do pretty much 90 degrees, and maybe I can do a little more than 90 degrees. So you can see what your range of motion is. And now let's try it with a straight leg, right? So see what happens if you just flex the leg right in front of you. Right, so notice you've got this kind of big range of motion, taking the leg to the front or flexion, right? Now, what's the opposite of flexion is extension back behind me. So stand up nice and tall and just slide your right leg back as far as it'll go, and then maybe lift it a little bit. But again, I'm not dipping forward in a warrior three-like way. I'm keeping my chest up. So notice that that's a pretty small range of motion. Do the same thing on the other side. So just explore this range of motion in extension. And it is small for everybody. There's 30 to 40%, depending on the person. Some people have a little bit more, some people have a little bit less, right? So just notice how going back behind me, I've got less range of motion. All right, now there's external rotation, internal rotation, and let's just keep it very simple. We're just going to move our toes, right? So standing up nice and tall, my feet are parallel. And now what I want to do is rock back on my heels, turn my toes. There's an external rotation. So I feel it, you should feel it in your glutes. And then come back to parallel. Go out, come back to parallel, out, come back to parallel. Very good. Now step a little wider apart so you've got room. Now rock back, bring your toes, internal rotation, and out. And so again, just notice where you feel that work. Internal rotation. Where do you feel that work? All right, good. Relax everything. I have, we already explored how my leg can go out to the side, right? Lead is going to work. QL is going to work. Also abductors, which are on the outside of the thigh, and adductors, which are on the inside of the thigh. So let's stand up nice and tall. And let's start with just tapping first. So just tap right foot out and come back. Tap left foot out and come back. So I'm just tapping first. And the upper body is not really sort of betraying much of what's happening in the lower body. Great. And then what if I lifted and lifted? Lift away and lift away. Feel where the work is. Good. All right. Shake everything out. Relax. So another way I like to play with glute med is doing some balancing. So if you take a block, and I do want it on the lowest level because I want to be able to step on it with my foot, right? So my foot hangs a little bit over a block, depending on the size of your foot. And what we're going to do is let's start on the right side. So stand on the block, but keep your left foot connected at first. And then really hug your glutes in, draw your core up, elevate your chest. So you're really organized. And we're going to work this muscle by floating my left leg. So sort of feel the work in here. If I'm trying to balance like this, it's not unlike what we have to do when we walk, although we don't balance as long when we walk, we balance briefly when we walk. Just feel this muscle strengthening here. All right, great. Take a little break. Standing on the left side. Again, keep the right foot connected while you organize everything and get ready to go. And then once you're ready to go, you can float. And in the middle of floating, if you need to tap down, go ahead and tap down. If you need to tap down in the middle of floating, hug in, hug in, hug in. All right, beautiful. Stepping off of that. Let us come to the front, and we will start to build a standing series. And I'd like my blocks available right here in front of me like this. So I'm putting them like this in front of my mat, because we're going to get involved with the blocks, warrior 3 and move. So standing as the front of my mat, hip width apart. Let's inhale and get super tall. Let's exhale and sink into chair. And you can be a little bit higher, you can be a little bit lower, wherever you want to be. And take your hands into Anjali Mudra. Inhale here. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. And inhale, center. Let's exhale and step back into a warrior two. So I'm going to step my right foot back, plant the foot, then take my upper body up and around, swing out my arms, and I'm in warrior two. My hips are comfortably wherever they want to land. Everybody's a little bit different. So you're just landing where your hips are comfortable, but your upper body is open to the long edge of your mat. And inhale here. Exhale, let's reverse our warrior. Let's inhale our arms up and exhale over into side angle. So again, the torso's open, the hips are still comfortably where they are. And exhale here. Let's inhale, take ourselves up, exhale, reverse. Inhale our arms up. So let's turn, we're gonna face the front of the mat. So I don't have to change much yet. Or I can adjust a little bit. If I'd like to adjust a little bit, I can adjust a little bit. And inhale up. So I'm in a warrior one. Again, my hips are just comfortably where they are for me right now. We're going to move them as we come into warrior three and then half foot. So inhale here. Exhale and just bow down, flat back. Put your hands on your block. Inhale here. And then exhale and lift your right leg up in the air, keeping your hips square to the mat, right? So my toes are aimed down. I'm square to the mat. And inhale here. And then I want to exhale and I'm going to start to open my hip. And then I'm going to just lift my right arm, keep my left arm there, and I'm going to open my torso. And I've taken myself up into half moon. And breathe here. Okay, good. Let's catch up. So we inhale here together. And then exhale and bring your right hand down first. So square your shoulder first, then square your hip. You're back in this supported warrior three. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale to step out of it. And then exhale, take yourself up into reverse warrior. And inhale, arms up, and exhale, we'll step out. Just take a little break. We'll go to the second side. So inhale nice and tall. Exhale, sink into your chair. Anjali Mudra, let's inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Think about it before you do it. We're going to exhale and step into warrior two. So I can do the lower body first and then inhale up. And I'm ready with my upper body. So the torso's turned open, the long edge of the mat. The hips are comfortable wherever they are. Inhale here. Exhale, reversing my warrior. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take me over into side angle. So again, the torso is squared to the long edge of the mat. Hips are comfortably underneath me. Inhale back up and exhale to reverse. Now, so I'm going to face the front of my mat. So this is a warrior warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, bow down so your hands connect. And your hip is still open a little bit, right? Wherever it was comfortable for you. Inhale together here. And then exhale and lift the left leg up, but square it. So your shoulders and your hip are squared to the mat underneath you. And inhale here. And then exhale and start to open the hip and then landing on your right arm, open your left arm and open your whole body to the side of your room and breathe here. Inhale here, exhale, Put your hand down first, then turn your hips. So you're in warrior three again, supported. Inhale here. And exhale. And then inhale, put your foot down. Exhale, up and over for reverse warrior. Inhale, arms up, and exhale. And step out. Great. So let us do all of that again, right? Because I think doing it once is fine, but doing it twice, we learn more. So standing hip width apart, nice and tall and cow. Exhale. This time when you sink into chair, take your arms out and they're either right opposite your shoulder or they're up near your ears, wherever you want them to be. And inhale here. And exhale. And inhale again. This time, let's exhale and step right into reverse warrior, skipping warrior two. So right into your reverse warrior. Inhale, arms up, exhale over into side angle, nice and open to the side of your room. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale in preparation for warrior three. Exhale, bow down, so connect your hands with the block, really secure. Inhale here, then exhale, lift the right leg up into your supported warrior three. Inhale here, and then exhale, start to open the hip first, and then open the arm and square the body open to the side of the room. Breathing here, so toes are going straight forward. Inhale here, and then exhale, and you can start to just turn back to your warrior three. Inhale here, and exhale, and then inhale, tap back, and exhale up and over, warrior. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to step forward, relax everything. We've got one more side to do. Inhale, nice and tall. Let's exhale, using the arms for my chair. Inhale here. Exhale, step me back into reverse warrior. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side angle. Inhale up, exhale to reverse. Inhale, facing the front, ready for my warrior three. Exhale, bow down, connect my hands with my block so I feel really secure. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the left leg up, supported warrior three. Inhale here. And then exhale, start to open the left hip. And then open with the left arm and look to the side. Breathing in your half moon. Inhale here. Exhale to turn back into your supported warrior three. Inhale here. Exhale. And then inhale to step back and exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step back. All right, that was pretty gorgeous. Pretty gorgeous. All right, I think we are ready to, okay, so we're at the front of the mat. Let's inhale nice and tall. And exhale. Arms up. Maybe I have a little back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Everything melts all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Once again, exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, bend those legs. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to bend. Exhale, drop, fold, fold. And then you can sit down and take your legs out. Let's do Dandasana. So sit up nice and tall. Right? We sort of explored this sitting up nice and tall when we're doing our psoas work. So let's flex our feet, lift up your hands, point your fingertips, and then do the opposite. So flex your hands, point your toes. Let's relax ankles and wrists that did a lot for us today. All right, relax everything. we are ready to come, definitely ready to come supine. So you can slide yourself down. You can use your core control to lower yourself down to the ground. Just have this kind of mini Savasana moment where you are stretched out as long as you can get. And just breathe here for a moment. All right. So let us bring our right leg up. Again, perpendicular, right? So we flexed it to perpendicular. And let's just play with some motion here. All right, so I'm going to go internal by crossing over my body. I'm going to swing it down. I can't get into a full extension because I'm lying down. I'm going to take it external and come back around. So just a couple of leg circles, just like this. In this direction first, going internal first, around to external and back up. And then let's go the other way. So drop it external, pull it around to internal and up. External, wrapping around and up. External, wrapping around and up. Hug that knee in. Lengthen the right leg. Great. Left leg up. So again, however your leg is perfectly good. Let's cross over and then circle around to external and back around, keeping the opposite hip down. Great, and then let's take it the other way. So external around to internal and up. External, internal and back. Might hear some crunches, that's okay. Noise is never a problem. Hug this knee in. Touch the other leg away. Great, so with everything we've been doing, let's take figure 4 or reclined pigeon for our stretch and our twist. So slide your feet under you, take your right ankle, put it on your left knee. Thread the needle, so you're going to grab this left thigh into you. You can use your right elbow to help keep the right leg externally rotated. And so you might be happy right here, drawing everything in, feeling that stretch in the hips. Some people like to add a hamstring feature to this, and you can straighten the leg if you like that, but that's not obligatory. And we'll breathe here together. Beautiful. So now we'll go into a twist. So you've got this right foot here, right? So I'm going to drop everything over so my right foot hits the ground, and whatever my hips and knees do is what they do. And I can hold on to my right ankle with my left hand and then take my right arm and stretch it out, tee it out, and then rotate my head so I'm looking out over my right hand, and we'll breathe here. Beautiful. So take your head center, bring your legs back to center, feet down, relax for just a moment, just feel whatever you feel. Then left ankle is on right knee, thread the needle, maybe the left elbow keeps the left knee externally rotated. I can do my hamstring addition if I like that. Draw everything in, just feeling this beautiful stretch. We'll breathe here. Just noticing what you notice. All right, again, visualize how the left foot's available, right? So we're just gonna drop everything over to the left foot, connects with the floor. Right hand can hold on to left ankle, tee out the left arm, look out over the left hand, and we breathe here. All right, so turn your head first, then everything comes back to center. You can hug your knees in and rock your sacrum a little bit. And then let's do the one-sided happy baby today. So stretch your left leg out, right, which is going to stretch your hip flexor there. Grab onto your right foot and sort of you're kind of in this half a happy baby. And move however you want to move in your half happy baby, and just sort of feel how different parts of your hip feel after the work that we did. Move this leg anywhere you want to move it. And then take the right leg out, have a moment where everything's stretched out, and then pull the left leg in. So we've got a half happy baby on the left. Again, just move however you want to move and just feel what you feel. And once again, just stretch everything out, and then both legs come in and a happy baby on both sides. Move it however you want to move. We're just preparing for Savasana. Getting ourselves ready for stillness. And when you feel ready, you can lengthen your legs. I'm going to put my top back on. So if you strip down and you might want to be a little warmer for Savasana. And then we will lengthen our legs and start out with lengthening your arms by your side and turn your palms up. It's a nice way to feel that your shoulders are really open, that you've got a broad collarbone. And then once you're happy there, you could, from that open position, put a hand on your heart, one hand on your heart, the other hand on your belly. Or you might like today to tee out your arms or cactus your arms. So you can just sort of see, where do you want your arms today? Your legs and your feet are super relaxed. Feel like you've got a long tailbone underneath you. And come into your breath. Gradually inviting your breath to deepen. As we come into Savasana. And as you deepen your inhalation, notice where the air comes down into the hip region. Using the inhalations and exhalation almost to kind of wash the whole area where we worked in your mind's eye. Just notice what you feel. So you've got hip flexors in the front of the hip. The go-go cues are in this area too, linking various joints in the front of the hip. Got glute med, which we really focused on the side of the hip, so you may still have some sensation in that muscle from all the work that we did. Glute max and minimus on the back, piriformis deep inside underneath glute max in the back. Just noticing all those muscles we talked about, abductors and adductors in the legs. We talked about hamstrings and quadriceps, which we felt at different times today. So just sort of feel and notice what you feel and notice. Parts of your hip may be quieter and other parts of your hip may be more sort of chatty and asking for your attention. So just notice what you notice, and we'll breathe here. And we'll be still for a few moments for Savasana. And you can deep in your breath. Start a little bit of movement, but isolated fingers and toes at first. And then add wrists and ankles, a little bit of movement. And then go into sort of stretching everything. And if you want to rock a little bit in your hips while you stretch, you might like that. And then yogi's choice, you can roll over to your right side, or you could rock up. We're going to eventually come up to a seat. So however you want to get there, start your process and come up nice and easy to a nice comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall, as we've been doing, hands on your knees, palms down or palms up. If easy seat is not comfortable, you could stretch your legs out, whatever feels good to you right now as we wind down the practice with some inhalations and exhalations. Let's inhale through our nostrils. And exhale, really sigh it out and see if you can sigh down to your hips. Relax everything on the side. Inhale and sigh it out. And sigh it out. Thank you for joining me for this hip mobility and stability exploration today. We took a few different angles to the work. And next week, when we come back, we're gonna bring our attention up into, do some heart opening, chest opening work next week. I'll stop the recording.